Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, morning. So, I have been up, and just reading my Bible this morning. And so, I did a post online. I actually finished a blog that I have actually been writing for a few years now. I wrote the blog when I first originally moved to Florida. And it was about doing the big chop and how I made a decision to say goodbye to Boston and chop it off and go to Florida. And that I was gonna close this chapter in my life and move forward. So today I actually finished the blog. So it's something, it's called To Chop or Not to Chop. And so today I actually wanted to talk to you guys about making hard choices when life gives you hard choices, and especially when you have a hard choice, you often have to make steps of faith to move forward, to close one door so another door can be opened. And sometimes it is very hard that you can wrestle with yourself back and forth until you actually make a choice. And depending, sometimes when we make the choices that we make choices to, like I said, to chop or not to chop, you know. Like right now this is a wig, I could cut this off and it would be all short. Now that's a decision I'd have to make. It's a choice. Or I could leave it long how it is. It all depends on where you are in life. Now, when you're taking steps of faith in life, sometimes it's really hard to take steps in faith of life. I know for myself because I've made many steps of faith since walking with God. And sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's harder. And that's why I'm making this video, because I know and I understand that sometimes it's hard to make steps of faith. It's hard to step out the boat, you know. We look in the Bible when Peter goes to walk on water, and he said, "Lord, if it's you, bid me to come." And Christ said, "Come." You know, and it said that Peter walked out on the water. And sometimes it's hard because you don't know what's on the other side. You don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes you just don't want to get out the boat. And it makes me so emotional because I know for my life I have to make some decisions for my life. And for me right now, it's hard to get out the boat. And I know that it's because I don't know what's on the other side. And I can admit that I'm fearful because I know I have to make a choice. I know that I have to chop or not to chop. And for me, I know that I have to chop. It's not that I want to chop. It's I know that I have to chop. And so in knowing that you have to chop, you know, the hardest thing is stepping out the boat sometimes. And making hard decisions, sometimes it's hard. But sometimes, you know, if you don't, you know, the outcome could be bad. Or the outcome, you could miss out on an opportunity in your life, in the road that you could be going down. And so I wanted to make this video for you guys because I know what it feels like sometimes to have to make a hard decision in faith to move forward, have to make a hard decision to chop, and you're not ready to let go, or you don't know how to let go, or you don't know how to get out the boat. But sometimes you have to get out the boat. You know, the Bible says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. You know, it's the scary part is the things unseen, not knowing how things are going to turn out. That if you make this choice, you know what the future is going to look like. Wondering, are you making the wrong decision? Not wanting to let go of the things that you got to let go of. And sometimes it's scary. You know, like it's scary sometimes. And I admit that I can get scared when taking steps of faith, because I'm human. But I'm gonna let you guys know that the key is that whenever you take a step of faith and whenever you gotta make these choices, that you don't do what Peter did. Don't lose focus on God. Don't lose sight on God, because you'll sink. Know that He is with you. When it was time for Joshua and Caleb to go into the promised land, when Joshua was leading them into the promised land, God told them, you know, to fear not, for I am with you wherever you go. Fear not. You know, you're gonna cross the Jordan into the promised land. You're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be with you along the way. And that's encouraging. That's the biggest thing of faith, is that God is gonna be with you along the way on your journey. This is tearing me up, guys, because I have to make my own step of faith. And I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and I know what I have to do. And but I don't have to fear. And I've been scared to take that step of faith. And I guess now I can say I gotta chop. And when I chop, I can't look back. I can't try to go back into the boat. I gotta keep moving forward and keep my eye on Jesus. And I encourage you to do the same. Because, like I said, through my tears, sometimes you gotta make choices to step out on faith that are always comfortable, that don't always feel good. Some people think that stepping out on faith is always gonna feel good, and it won't. It won't. It's not always easy, but you gotta do it.